Well, hi there. My name is Jim Turner. Today, what I'm going to do, in fact, that's kind of all I do. What I what I like to do is show concepts, right? Like give ideas of what we can do with what we have, or it could be something that our neighbor has and stuff that's it's always gone to waste. Well, that doesn't have to happen, right? I mean, if we understand certain concepts about things. So, if you can see here, this is my monster grape tree. I call it a monster grape tree because it just is. Right? And that thing is just one plant, right? So what I'm going to do with all those, now that looks similar. I haven't trimmed the leaves off the other side yet, but that looks similar on the other side. So when those grapes get ripe, what I'm going to end up doing is some I will do what's called a quick freeze. Right? It'll just be I'll just like quickly freeze them, right? And leave them like, like they are. And other ones I put in a blender and I put them in an ice tray, and I use that for sweetener. My soups, instead of sugar, because I never use sugar, my soups, my stir fries, if I want to sweeten up a stir fry, or oatmeal cookies. I use banana instead of butter. I use banana. It's kind of like that, make it a little soft, on oatmeal cookies. And so I use some whole coca, 100% coca, and my grapes for the sweetener. Oh, they turn out great. Oh, oatmeal cookies, man. Throw a few nuts in, almonds or walnuts in the mix. You got a healthy snack instead of potato chips and ice cream and bags of candy and all that other processed food. That stuff's deadly. I see so many people on medications just because of that processed food and all the chemicals in there. It wears the body down. And so also, I'll take you back here. So I'll go to my little my little enclave here. So I'll walk through here and you can see all the peaches up in that tree. So I do the same thing with the peaches, right? And so what I'm really trying to show here is a concept on how to save money. Not only that, but you're getting organic food, right? Is that a bee or wasp? It's a wasp. So I also have walnuts and hazelnut trees that I started from, well, actually, it was the squirrels that started them. So I got these squirrels, and because there's a walnuts and hazelnut trees that are growing wild back in the forest back there. And the squirrels take them and they bring them over here and they bury them. And the next thing I know, I'm pulling up all these walnut trees and hazelnut trees because I don't want them growing everywhere. So what I did is I took a few of those squirrel planting plants and I planted them right there. So I've got like 3 walnuts and looks like 3 hazelnuts. And those were there for a couple of years and they just weren't really doing anything. So what I did this year, actually in wintertime, I started giving them some of my homegrown fertilizer. They've more than tripled in size because of the fertilizer, homemade fertilizer, organic. And so this is a concept. So I also got blackberries back there that I grow and freeze all winter. I got blueberries that I do, and raspberry, and cherries. And so if this is a concept here, right? So if you know someone who's got excess stuff, what you do is you take that excess food wherever you can get it for free. That's the best way. That's the best way to get it, right? And you can process that down, and you can do what's called a quick freeze. Just put it on some trays. I do that with my tomatoes, and on and on and on. I do a quick freeze, and I put them in these containers, and I just have them whenever, and I can mix and match anything, anytime I want during the winter, the fall, the winter, the spring, even throughout the summer until those certain things start coming on again. And sometimes I'll run out, and that includes apples. If you know somebody's got an apple tree, I take the apples and I make applesauce, right? I don't add no sugars. I take it and I process it organically, right? And I leave it that way. So if there's something I want to add to that, applesauce. Say I thaw it out, I can put some cinnamon in there, some nuts or whatever, right? Whatever your imagination or whatever you got, maybe a couple of blueberries frozen. Because another thing about blueberries, if you freeze blueberries, I forgot, what was it? 5 times more antioxidants. What happens is the membrane that the antioxidant is in, by freezing it, it cracks it. So when you thaw it out, you get a lot more antioxidants if you freeze your berries, your blueberries. In fact, that goes for a lot of foods. And if you have like pastas, say you like pasta, right? And if you take the noodles and you pre-make everything and you freeze it, you get up to a 65% less glucose spike. Because it's the spiking of the glucose over time that really puts us on the medications and down a bad path of health, right? And so, and weight gain and all that. So, right. So I eat 1 meal a day. So at 5 o'clock, I'll sometimes it's 8 o'clock. If I get really busy. So sometimes it's 10 o'clock before I finally have something to eat, because I need to finish my projects, because so many of them are time sensitive. And so I eat 1 meal a day, and when I eat my 1 meal, it's all organic, typically, from the field to the table. I don't eat much meats or anything like that. I avoid that. I'm mostly vegetarian, maybe more towards the Mediterranean style, vegan, kind of like that, right? And but I'm not prudent about it. If I go somewhere and somebody's having something, I might have something that I normally don't eat, knowing that my level of natural antioxidants is so high, it's not going to be a problem, right? So now, so what you can do here is just keep in mind around your area, right? Who has what, and just process it. Does it take time? Yes. But is your health worth it? Yeah, right? I mean, our health is all we have, right? When we don't have that, what do we got? Usually misery, unhappiness, sadness. But when we're healthy and we feel good and we feel strong, and we keep that glucose like this almost 24 hours, one spike, and then it's gone. And then it's like that for the next almost 24 hours. It's a good feeling, because your body's going to only burn ketones after that. And your brain is most efficient when it's using ketones for energy. But when we're eating sugars and all these things, the brain actually will use the sugars just by default, not ketones, right? So by getting off the sugars, all that processed food, because if you think about what processed food is, what is it? It's stuff that they try to enhance with things so that you'll buy it. Well, what are those things? Red dyes and other kinds of dyes, preservatives, right? Artificial flavor, artificial coloring, right? The body doesn't work well with that, right? That's just not healthy, right? I mean, it's nonsensical. We're not designed to eat. We didn't evolve to eat those chemicals like that, especially in that quantity. Grapevine is a crazy monster. And so you see these things here? Yeah, you monster. Get back, you beast plant. Grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine, and I'm just about to lose my mind, honey, honey, yeah. So, what was I going to say? The doggone plant started to attack me. I have to trim this thing all the time. It would literally take over this whole property back here if I didn't trim this thing. Sometimes almost every other day. It grows that fast. And so once I trim this side down over here, of all the leaves, it'll look pretty much like the other side you just saw. Now, what am I going to do with all that? I don't know. I ain't got enough freezers. This is the biggest crop I've had. This is probably triple the crop that I had last year, and I had a pretty good crop. In fact, I think I still have grape sweeteners from last year. And I use it quite often. I put it like I grow mints, so I'll put my grape. I put a cube of my grape in my mint as a natural sweetener, because I keep all the fiber in my grapes. I do not juice anything. Nothing gets juiced, right? So, and over here, oh, I'll share these girls with you. I have so many girlfriends. Check them out. I have so many thousands of girlfriends, and there they are. They're doing what's called bearding, right? Trying to regulate the temperature of the hive. So they'll come out to try to help cool the inside of the hive. And they'll do fanning, and they'll do lots of communication. There's a lot of dancing that goes on. There's a girl dancing right there. There she is. She found something. You see her dancing right there? She's in the middle there. She's doing a dance. She found something, and she's sharing it with everybody. All right? That's right. She found something somewhere, some sort of sweetness. All right? She found some sort of sweetness somewhere, so she's doing her little, you know, go this way, and then if you go take a right over here, then you just go this far that way. That's right. That's their language. That's how they talk, right? Now those blackbirds, I'm gonna have to get to. They're starting to wind down. I have to pick some of those too. Yeah. So with the blackberries, I do the same thing. So I'll take the blackberries and I'll, you know, put some in the cubes, leave some whole. That way I can, you know, do all kinds of different things with them. And oh, please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. This is a baby channel. It's just now kind of, I started in April really. You know, it's decided yeah, I think I might do this thing of this year. So if you please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. I'd appreciate that. Thumbs up and all that. And that helps this little baby channel grow by you saying, oh, I seen that. And you leave your mark, right? You leave your mark by subscribing or leaving a comment or, you know, ring that bell or, you know, thumb you up. Yeah, YouTube's logarithms use that to decide whether or not my material should move forward or not. And there you go. That's it. So I need to get busy. Looks like I got some blueberries I need to pick too. So, all right. That's today's sharing. Bye now. Oh my gosh, there's so much work to be done today. Oh well, here we go.